start the clock. Come on, YouTube. Okay, here we go.
Was you putting sound effects on then?
No, that wasn't me. Right, here we go. So, we're ready to go. Right, so, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the latest edition of, I don't know what, I don't know what's going on anymore. What happened there? Welcome to the latest edition of the boys from, let me start again.
Did you forget what we're called?
Yeah, I did for a second. All right, let's do it again. 3 men on an eternal journey to bring news about films, movies, and comic books to the general populace of London and the world. So listen to them as they tell you their tales of woe and adventure in the latest episode of The Boys from Bossk. Hey, how about that, huh? Come on.
Nah, rubbish.
There's no making you happy. There's just no making you boys happy, is there? There's just not cheerful about it. That's all right. I'll keep trying.
One day you will write a decent script.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. Okay. All right. Okay. Cool. Anyway, it's been again. We're in the middle of somewhere at the moment. It's the summer, I guess, gloom that starts when there's not much going on. There's not much coming out. COVID's really kicked in quite heavily, but surprisingly, there's still always something to talk about. I mean, we'd already wrapped up. We missed you last week, Big Dave. We missed you. You weren't here. The audience were upset.
I was in spirit. I was on the car on the way home, sitting in the passenger seat, watching you on TV.
You said that's a song, isn't it? Make a way that clown, passenger seat.
It's been an interesting time. I think last time we spoke, Falcon Winter Soldier just ended. And I think it was just before, had we seen the first episode of Bad Batch at that point? No, we hadn't. So no. Bad Batch came out. We got 2 episodes this week because obviously it came out on May the 4th. And then they had another episode on the following Friday. Have both of you watched them?
Oh, I didn't realise there was another one. I thought it was just the episodes. I thought I was going to wait a week. I thought I was going to have to wait a week.
They pumped one out on the Friday for us.
Oh, that's exciting. I'll watch that tonight.
Yeah.
I watched them. The first episode was absolutely like it wasn't a big episode, but a lot happened in it, and I thought it was quite good.
A lot happened, man. I'm just living for finding out about Order 66. I love it. I love the aftermath of it all, and I like how the clones have like become robotic. Like the normal ones are like so much more like robotic than they were before, and it's just that stark contrast. It's just I love it. I think it's so great. And you see how Kanan survived as well.
Yes.
At the start.
That was a very, very cool touch. And I don't know, not everybody quite picked up on that.
Filoni,
because it was the voice.
Yeah.
Well, they did something really weird. And I think it was reported that basically Kanan was a lot lighter in that than he was in the series. I think he looked almost Latino in the series.
Yeah, but
you're darker as you get older. Look at me.
Something happened.
Well, no, he lives on a desert planet, so he has a tan.
No, they honestly,
honestly, yeah.
Caleb, they said something had happened with him, and like Lucasfilm are investigating it because he turned from Caleb Doom, the
Kanan,
slightly suave Kanan Doom,
the
slightly suave Mexican-looking Jedi. To the European-looking Jedi in the first episode of Bad Batch, but we shall see. I don't know. I do not know what happened there, but apart from that, I think it was really, really good. It was nice to see Tarkin again.
Yeah.
And I thought the fight scenes in the first episode were absolutely it was fun. And I don't know. It'll be interesting to see where it goes. The second episode's more takes a slightly different turn, but I'll leave you to watch.
I
That.
don't know what's going on with the Star Wars universe, so they've got to keep babysitting something.
I think
Well,
Dave Filoni's favourite film is Two Men and a Baby, obviously.
It's got to be something like that.
Well, you got
Literally, the last two things of Star Wars that come out, they're babysitting something.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what she's going to become, who she's going to become.
I think she's the ultimate clone of all of them.
I had a feeling she might be Mon Mothra.
No, because Mon Mothra's already appeared, hasn't she?
What in No, she appeared in Rebels, but not not in Clone Wars.
No, I thought she appeared in the Revenge of the Sith. Because she was there with the rest of them all.
Oh, really? Oh, well, scratch that then.
I don't quote me. I'm regularly wrong, as ex-girlfriends will tell you. I don't always have it nailed down.
But
that might not be the case. But I think she's grown out by that time.
But no one would have seen that film anyway.
I hope she's not a Jedi. That's all I hope. You say that, Dave, but apparently, according to the current ratings for Revenge of the Sith, that's one of the favourite films out there now. People have turned and gone, well, you know, I love a bit of Revenge of the Sith.
I watch it because it's just the twist of it all. And
I only watch it because he dies. And I'm like, yes, at last. Hayden Christian has gone. And now he's back.
It is though, but it's the best out of those three, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, that's not hard, but yeah, it's fun. It's a fun movie to watch.
Well, the second film, the Attack of the Clones, did plumb. The only thing that saves Attack of the Clones is like the last 40 minutes.
Django Fett. Only reason. Only good thing.
Yeah.
The whole
thing.
The
whole middle of that film is appalling.
The Sesame.
A mess.
Sorry, go on.
The whole middle of the film is just an appalling mess of Hayden Christian trying to get it on with what's the name, and just nobody feeling it. Like, how's this happened?
But like, yeah, if Django Fett wasn't in that film, oh my god, it would have been the most boring movie ever. Like with the sound charges in the asteroid of Obi-Wan, the fight on Camino, that was cool. And then the end bit with him fighting Mace Windu, yeah. And then that ends, and then that scene of just Boba just holding his dad's head. It's so dark.
Which never ever really pays off. Like, they always hint at how badass Boba Fett is and how he's going to kill, like, disintegrations and all the rest of it. Never actually paid off in any of the films, or even in Clone Wars. You see him wander around a few times, but can you remember being him, Boba Fett?
Clone Wars, he's young, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does turn to a little badass, though, doesn't he?
He's only a teenager, isn't he? Like a 12-year-old.
No, but I mean, in general, across the Star Wars thing, he's never really shown how much of a badass he is.
Mandalorian. Yeah.
Until he's like got his dad bod, and he's out there, and I was just like, I enjoyed it because being someone who has what they call a dad bod.
Yeah.
It's
Boba Fett is always the ones the fans have loved.
Yeah.
But they've never done enough with him. And now it's like, oh yeah, now we can do anything as badass as we like.
Yeah.
And in the comics even, like there's a new comic started called War of the Bounty Hunters.
Yeah.
And it's the story of him taking Han Solo in Carbonite back to Jabba's palace.
Yeah.
But all the bounty hunters are after him to get the bounty. So there's a war of all the bounty hunters going on, and that's badass.
I've seen that bit before.
Yeah.
That happened with Baby Yoda, right?
Yeah, almost, yeah.
I vaguely heard about that. I heard it's going to be like 30 issues long.
What?
Like, it's going to be a massive crossover.
What, the War of the Bounty Hunters?
Yeah, it's going to be huge, apparently.
The Star Wars comics, man, are good. Because it's nice, because they add like a bit of extra to the films. Like, a little bit of backstory, what happens. Like how Luke got his green lightsaber and stuff and all that kind of stuff. It's nice to have these stories explored, but not in a like overly long way.
Yeah. One thing I do hope for the Bad Batch is that Omega doesn't end up being a Jedi clone, because I think they've just it'd be nice to not have a Jedi-based story.
Yeah,
for once.
I'd like it to be someone, but not a Jedi.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because they keep doing it, and it's like,
Yeah, because then it's the same story as Baby Yoda,
Yeah,
isn't it?
if you saw what she
Yeah.
had, she had the same instincts as Hunter, and she also had the same instincts as the sniper. What's his name?
Oh yeah,
Because
you picked up on that actually.
because they said that she is a clone of she's a clone of like
The Bad
Troopers.
Batch.
Yeah, but she's
Just-
not. She's something different about her, and I reckon that she's possibly got force powers, and I hope it's not that. But that's the only thing that possibly stands out to me.
That'd be mate. If that's what Dave Filoni like, mate, change your tune then. That would annoy me. That.
We'll see.
We can't really talk about the second episode because Mike hasn't seen it. So
the only clone I'd be happy for her to be a clone of is maybe Obi-Wan. Then I might let it go. Then I can see that storyline going somewhere at some point in the future.
She does look a bit like Satine, you know.
Yeah, the hair. That's what I thought first.
You know. She's probably that's what she is. She's probably just a clone of the one of those the Mandalorian, a female Mandalorian, basically, like the Prime Minister or whatever she was.
Getting excited. Sorry.
It also looks like the little girl from Caravan of Courage.
Oh God! I
No.
tried watching that. I honestly tried watching it, and I was just like, "How did anybody sit in the cinema with this for so long?" It's literally a daytime TV show, and that was released in the cinema because nothing happens in it for like most of the film. And it's kind of like the boy. You think Luke Skywalker was annoying in Star Wars? Hell no! This kid. He's like the most annoying character. Hayden Christensen has nothing on this one. And I'd love to see where his career went after Caravan of Courage because he's a bastard.
I reckon he turned to Hercules. Curtis broke the house.
Alcohol everywhere.
Drink and drive, Curtis.
That reminds me, where's my lights? Can't see me, it's getting dark. Hey, he's back. It was just getting too dark for my taste. So, no, Caravan of Courage. Let's just bring it up because I was like, I don't think any of them.
Which kid? Is it Aubrey Miller? Is that the one you're talking about?
The boy.
Yeah, it must be him. Oh, Robert Englund's in it. I didn't know that.
What does he play? One of the Wookiees?
I don't know.
Or the monster?
I know, I'm looking at Aubrey Miller. So Ewok, a message, Ewok message. Oh, no,
The
nothing.
Ewok Adventure. That's it. In America, they just called it the Ewok.
That's all she did. That's all she wrote.
Where? Oh my god, that's a short career.
No pun intended.
Right. So the kid's called Eric Walker.
Eric Walker.
Yeah, and he did Ewok's Adventure, Lesson Zero, then Ewok's A Battle for Endor. Oh, he had a decent career. Like one film every 5 years.
That's right.
Did a TV
Pays
series
the
called
rent.
Yeah, like yeah. Webster, yeah, he did all right. Nothing you've seen though. Literally nothing you've seen outside of Ewoks. So yeah, well, I didn't mean to make it so personal, but yeah, that was him. Obviously, Warwick Davis, he's back soon, isn't he? He's going to be in Willow, the TV series, I presume.
I thought it was a new movie. I didn't realize it was a TV series.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a TV show they're doing for Disney Plus. Or at least I guess that.
I thought it was a movie.
Let's find out.
Welcome to another episode of us googling things.
Yeah, welcome to Google Web.
But, also, right. So we done the good bunch. Now,
Bad Batch, you mean?
The Bad
Good
Batch.
Bunch.
The good bunch.
Sounds like
The
the
old,
gummy bears.
I think the Jupiter's Legacy was probably the biggest release we had this week.
Yeah, I think so, probably.
I've watched. I think I've actually watched all the episodes. I think I only watched. There's only. Is it 6 or 8? 8 episodes.
7. I think.
I think I've watched them all.
Yeah.
Dave, where are you up to?
Episode 4 and a bit. You stopped me in my tracks. I was
This is
halfway
good.
through episode
All
4.
right. We'll try not to do it with too many spoilers. But Mike, let's
I
get
just got to
your.
the. I
No,
just got
you
to
go.
the
You go
house.
first. You go first.
I just got to the hut where the old man got killed.
Okay, if I'm to give my opinion on it, I think that they had 2 separate products in this, and they probably should have made the. If they were going to do it the way they did it, they probably should have done it all the stuff in the past first. Flashbacks are always great in storytelling, but a lot of time it just ended up confusing the story for the present day. And I was sat there thinking this person was this person when it wasn't. And also, again, it sort of bothers me in the same way that Wonder Woman did, in that this guy stuck to his rules for how many years? 70 odd years? 70, 80 years? And I was just like,
100 years, mate.
yeah, I was like, how could you stay that like narrow for that long and still not let you have like you're having fun with your missus and a meteorite that you could stop at any point takes priority. I don't get that. I like literally. Did you watch that episode?
You just ruined everything for me now.
Sorry. Your missus is about to hit the point of orgasm with super dude, and you hear a story about a meteorite, and you have to go. Why would you could stop it at any moment? Why would you? Well, nothing about that character made any sense, except he was a whiny little baby. Now, the storyline was good. The sets were good. Slightly confusing, but I'm just like, it was too messy. And I don't think it's the fault of the people who made the show and the people who hired the actors. I think it's Mark Miller, the way he writes. He gets really good ideas, but unless you sit down and go through them properly, it quickly ends up making no sense. And that's the problem I have with Jupiter's Legacy. I don't think it's rubbish, but I think unless you're into superheroes and comic books, you're not going to get it. You're not going to get half the tropes they get about it. It's not going to bring anybody new into it. And I can see why it's getting such bad reviews at the moment. I'm just like, this is not the way you should be telling a story. And I'm sorry, bro, but those costumes, the wigs and the costumes alone pulled you out of that show. And they definitely could have done a better job on it.
And the makeup.
Yeah.
The old man makeup was so bad.
Yeah.
So bad. Like,
what's the point of going to all that effort? And that must have cost a fair bit of money. And then having like really bad costumes throughout the entire thing. And then the exact costumes from the comic book. Surely you could change it up a bit. Do you know what I mean? You can do something different. And they don't. And that to me is slightly like, it's weird. I see, again, I don't hate it. But I think they could have done a lot better job on it than they did and make things make more sense. And also in the comic book, the main characters are like secondary characters in this, which again, I don't get. What was which is why I think it could have been 2 separate shows. And the stuff in the 1920s could have been like the build up to this, its own separate miniseries, and then you do Jupiter's Legacy, what's going on today. I think it just got a bit too grandiose, and that's my opinion. I don't hate it. I'll watch the second season, which I hope it gets. But for the first outing, if Netflix is looking to compete with DC and Marvel, that's not a good job.
No, it's not in the same ballpark.
No,
I'll give you, yeah.
It's not a good job. And the fucking wigs. Anyway, there you go. That's my opinion. Dave. You hit episode 4. How are you feeling about it?
I was actually enjoying it until you started having your little mini rant.
Oh, don't put this on me.
Hey,
do you know what,
you
Mike?
fucking spoiler alert. Tell me what's already going on for the next 2 episodes.
No, he's not ruining anything, mate.
No one can hear your little girly phone.
So,
no, I'm actually enjoying it. I like it. It's a bit confusing now and again because it does go back into the past quite a lot. I want to know why he has 100 boiled eggs in the morning. Salt brat. But yeah, it's good. I'm actually enjoying this one, especially the crackhead daughter. She's just totally off the rails.
Definitely could have done with more of her in it. I think there has been enough. And definitely
And the
more.
boy that's just trying to please his father.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it'd be more gory, like the boys.
Yeah, but
just not there. It's very PG rated.
Yeah, I think it's quite gory for Netflix.
Yeah,
I
it
was
is for Netflix.
I was surprised when I was watching it. I was like, oh, hello. You know, because I thought it's like usually Netflix is a bit scared of all stuff like that, isn't it?
Where I am at the moment, halfway through episode 4, it's like the halfway point. So it's probably getting to the good stuff because she's just like having a party and stuff and getting told off by her landlord about doing too many drugs and putting holes in walls. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. We'll see.
I was surprised to enjoy this as much as I did. I wasn't expecting. I think that's probably why I enjoyed it as much as I did because I was expecting nothing from it.
Yeah.
Because I used to be quite. I used to buy anything Mark Miller. I still do kind of. If he puts out a comic, I'm going to buy it. You know, because it's going to be decent, like Nemesis, and and then sometimes I read them and I'm like, oh, it's all right. But I think what I really enjoyed about Jupiter's Legacy is, there's a lot of things wrong with it. Don't get me wrong. Like the old person makeup is not great, but I'm glad that they're doing it. Yeah, but I'm glad that they're doing it the other way around rather than how Disney do, like de-age people.
Yeah,
I think it makes more sense to have them young and then age, like make them look older. But I think what I really enjoy about this is it really does feel like a world in which superheroes and supervillains exist. Like a lot of other TV shows doesn't really have that feel of it. But with this, it really does feel like this is a world in which superhumans and villains exist.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like the Black Star and like the Lex Luthor type guy or whatever, like it feels organic. It feels quite, it's a bit cheesy at times.
Yeah.
And there are tropes, like he's Clark Kent on a farm, like
that was a bit weird.
There are certain bits where I'm like, oh, this is all a bit tropey.
Yeah.
But it does sort of make you like, even the supervillains, they're a bit crap.
Yeah.
And he's got a magical van, and it's
that was quite funny.
I enjoyed that. It's not too serious, but I like the idea of him having this code, and like it's a good question of like, because it reminds me, that's also another reason I like it, is it's very much like Kingdom Come, which is if you've not read it, it's an Elseworld story from DC where Superman refuses to kill.
Yeah.
And then someone kills and they all sort of have a go at him for not killing this person. And they're like, oh, superheroes, you should be just killing these people. Why are you not doing it,
Yeah.
And his whole point is like, we have the power, but we shouldn't have the choice. And it's an interesting concept, isn't it? Because it is a bit like, if someone's endangering your life, you should be able to protect your own life. And that's the idea of the show that I quite enjoy. It's like, well, when can you cross this line? Even if you are this all-powerful being, if something's going to kill you, like his son.
Take stand.
Like that clone, when he like killed it was like he was going to kill us all. Yeah. What are we supposed to die for your rules? And it's that's why I get into it. I got sucked into it.
No, I'm with you there. I agree with you on those points, and I don't mean to come across as a miserable git, but at the same time, I was like, those elements sometimes just aren't strong enough in it. Like he built what seems to be quite a cool world, especially with the Supermax.
Yeah.
But then it was like they still don't explain it enough of what's going on here.
Well, what do you need to explain?
Okay, so if a relation comes to you and goes, I'm having visions of islands of somewhere we need to go. You're going to say, well, no, you don't need to go see a doctor. And the entire process of this them getting to where they go is them doing everything you would never do. Right? You just wouldn't do it. You wouldn't do anything that guy comes and tells you to do. right? And that sort of, I know it is meant to work within that story, but if you're watching it and you're like, it's like that haunted house thing, right? Would you go into a haunted house if you knew it was haunted?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd love to.
And you could possibly die after 5 minutes after
that's
going
fine.
there. No, you
It's all part of the
wouldn't.
experience.
It didn't work. It was very clunky for me. And I get the tropes. I don't have a problem with the tropes, but it just felt really clunky and everything.
I think
felt
it's
really
that I
forced.
didn't feel like that was clunky at all. That felt quite organic in a way, because his best friend saw him writing all this weird stuff.
Yeah.
His best friend's skint, yeah,
liked
the grand lifestyle. So this is the 1920s as well. You know, this is like Dr. Livingstone and, you know, people going off exploring. You know, they just had the Wall Street crash. Yeah. It's a perfect storm, basically what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is that he lost all his money. The world's a bit messed up. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, this is my Hail Mary right now. Yeah. His brother is just wanting to do anything to stop his brother being a bit crazy, thinking, great, let's just go on this Moroccan boat journey, and then, you know, this will be him getting over our dad dying, sort of thing. Yeah. Then they have that moment where they realize, oh, it's all right. So I think it was that perfect storm of events which you can lead into being fate, you know, because they're supposed to be at the island and all this. So I think that all worked out. I did agree with you, sir.
That's it. Like I want to see this get a second season.
Yeah.
I think it deserves a second season, just purely for the amount of work and effort they did put into this. Whether or not it will, I don't know. At the moment, the reviews are they're bad on Rotten Tomatoes.
I don't know why.
I think the view audience.
I think it's because it's all the big class actors.
They always go. The Rotten Tomatoes always goes one way or the other. Do you know what I mean? There's never any in between with them half the time.
Don't Disney own it though?
For it, I don't know. Do they?
Yeah.
That might be why.
Yeah.
They're protecting Disney's interests. I think it's just, again, I think although it may work for us to a degree, if you're a reviewer and you just barely stand Marvel stuff, this ain't gonna make you happy.
It's too comic booky. Yeah, 100%.
It is a comic book.
Yeah.
And I think that's possibly what it's doing. But the audience reviews are good. Like, it's 75%. So it could continue to. It'll be all right, I reckon.
But this is also a thing with Mark Miller, though. I'll say this: he does like rehashing his ideas. You know what I mean? Like this is not his idea, but this is basically Kingdom Come. Like it's almost to the point, exactly the same as Kingdom Come. You know, like even to the bit of where that's the Sky Fox guy apparently turned against them or whatever.
Yeah.
That's like Batman fakes that in Kingdom Come, doesn't he? So it's everything is a bit like that. And Mark Miller has this tendency of, you know, like Wanted, he sort of rehashed into Old Man Logan.
Yeah.
You know, he has a cool idea and he's like, oh, I'll just do it again, but for this. You know, it does get a bit, all right, mate, we get it. You know?
I like the way they've stretched it out, though. I like the way that they've given the continue, like, the comic book's quite short, as far as I remember. It's not.
I think it was only like a few issues, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I do like the way they've stretched it out, and I love the way they're treating the villains in this.
They're not two-dimensional, are they? They're actually real.
So it'll be interesting. I'll be in for a second season. Like I said, I don't agree with the 38% it got on the tomatometer, but I think it deserves a second season. Because it's got there are so many ideas in there. They just need to be worked out. And for God's sake, change those goddamn costumes. They're fucking awful. And that would be my other thing.
Wow.
They are terrible. And to make it even worse, it's literally
I love being
same.
in Switzerland in that meeting. It was,
it's the same costume they've had for 100 years or whatever it is.
Very white still. I would have thought it'd go a bit grey. You know how whites go a bit grey?
Yeah.
Yeah, it must
Special
use
material, my friend. Special material.
or vanish oxy action or something. You
It's
know.
got silver lining so all the sweat draws out.
Oh, lovely. Bet it pongs a bit. Smells of mothballs or something.
Well, he didn't have a shower after he was bonking, so I've got no doubt. It's
Superheroes don't sweat, Curtis. Come on.
He probably doesn't. I can't lose him. Okay, all right, cool, sweet. I can't. He's my son. But yeah, we'll see. I hope it gets a second season. Right, so moving on. Have you all seen? I've seen the Venom trailer. Has anybody else seen the Venom trailer?
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah.
I kind of watched it just now while you two were having your debate.
Oh, you're
No
such
sound.
I'm coming for you. So yeah, Venom 2 trailer's out. Let there be carnage. Sony was so confident in this, they cast the Carnage character in the first Venom film, which you don't usually see.
Yeah.
But that film made a bucket load of money. I think it hit $1 billion.
Really?
Overall, yeah, because it made a lot of money in Japan.
Oh.
No, China.
Yeah.
But whether or not the Chinese box office numbers are true or not, it's a whole different level of discussion. But I think I'm pretty sure it hit $1 billion worldwide.
How much did it cost to make?
It made just under 900 million. Budget was 100 million to 116 million, which I could see on that. The budget wasn't startling.
But I mean, that's a good profit margin, isn't it? That's a decent return.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. China, I think in Chinese box office, you only get 25%. So if you, as a studio, make a film and put it out there, you literally only get 25% of the takings.
Oh wow!
So you end up with quite
Better
a lot
than the kick in the bollocks, though, isn't it? 25% of 900 million ain't too bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. So it's quite interesting. It's interesting to see where the rest of that money goes to. But yeah, they make a lot of money.
Yeah, probably.
But that's why, in a way, China's such a big market for the movies. So that one made a lot of money. And now we've got Venom 2 coming out. Are you guys? We'll start with you this time, Dave. Are you looking forward to a bit of Venom 2 action?
I suppose so. There's nothing else out there, is there? Might as well watch something.
Well, it's not out till September, and by then you're going to have a lot of options. You've got Eternals at the start of September, I think. No, Shang-Chi.
No, I will watch it. I actually enjoyed the first one. The first one was really good. It was a bit twisted at first. Yeah. I had to watch it again. But he's an evil motherfucker.
Yeah.
And Carnage is going to be 10 times worse. So
Carnage is going to be... It looks like it's going to be like proper Carnage.
Yeah.
You know, like just going mental and like lots of axes.
Destroying everything.
Yeah. I want to see lots of axes out of him. I want to see lots of spikes. I want to see people getting impaled left, right, and centre. You know... Like, well, that's Carnage, you know. Like, that's the whole thing. That's why it's so like he's just so powerful. Like, you know, when they did Carnage in the comics, he's just so overpowered in a way that it takes so many people to stop him. But it's also that combination of him being overpowered and being absolutely fucking nuts.
Well, anybody called Cletus should be considered dangerous no matter what. Cletus Cassidy. Now, the director is, what's his name? It is Andy Serkis. It's his first big budget film.
What's he directed so far?
He's directed, let's see, as director.
Planet of the Apes. I thought he did Planet of the Apes, didn't he?
Nope. Heavenly Sword, which is a video game. Breathe, Ruins of an Empire. The last film he done was Mowgli, Legend of the Jungle, which I think was a Netflix product.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure if that went out into cinemas. No, it was Netflix. So I think that went straight onto Netflix as opposed to cinema. So that's a big jump for Andy Serkis. Really, really big jump. I'm surprised they've let him do that. But clearly from the trailer, it looks like he's good for it.
Well, that means hopefully it means that they're going to like motion capture Carnage rather than have it just be CGI. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So have the movement be Woody Allen doing it all. Let's hope so. Anyway,
Well, if anybody could do it, as they say, it would
Woody
be
Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson. Woody Allen would be just as good to watch, I'm sure. What is this? What's going on here? I'm going to kill you.
hey, I want to smear her.
Oh, can we have sex now? But no, I'm sure Woody Allen will, Woody Harrelson.
Woody Allen.
I think it'll make a really good Cassidy. I'm really looking forward to that one, and I hope that it comes out all guns blazing, because I wasn't a huge fan of the first one because I thought it was kind of bland.
Yeah, it was a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully they'll give this a lot more character. And like I said, Woody Harrelson's got a really good track record for it. Natural Born Killers and various other films. I think this will be a really, really good shot. But we'll see. We shall see how it goes. Right. So in other news, moving on as you do. In other news,
They brought Loki.
oh, sorry.
forward.
Did I mention that they said that the Venom film isn't set in the MCU? So now separate universe.
Oh yeah.
It's not a question. Yeah. So he's got his own separate universe.
Who's the rumor for the Spider-Man then?
I've heard it's a question of everybody's hoping it's what's his name? Who's the first Spider-Man?
But Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire. Because Tom Holland, well, obviously it won't be Tom Holland, so it's a fight between Maguire and the other guy who was really pants.
You leave him alone.
Andrew Garfield.
No,
He was
don't
terrible.
mention the name.
Do you hate him that much, Dave?
Oh, he's terrible.
It was
I see.
bad, bruv. And it's not, as with Hayden, right? It's not
Him
his
and
own
Hayden
fault.
Christian, they're like, "Ugh, they're so close. Who can act the best?
It's not his own
Both
fault.
dry actors.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's like they come out and try and do a good role, but my man couldn't do. They made him ad lib, and he's not a stand-up comedian. And it was a terrible moments in the Amazing Spider-Man. And what was the second one? It's Amazing Spider-Man and the Amazing Spider. Anyway,
Two.
Yeah, it was just bad.
Two.
Like emo Spider-Man, but no, it just didn't work.
No, Tobey Maguire would go good with Woody Harrelson and Tom Hardy. He'd bounce off of those, I think.
I think they should just get someone else. Fuck it.
It's what for an even newer Spider-Man.
Yeah, get the new Spider-Man from
But like-
Spider-Verse.
But like, no, but get an older one. Don't go the teenage route. Go, just come out college, mid-20s Peter Parker. Not, you've got the young Peter Parker. Fuck it, go 30s. Like an actual bloke.
Fuck it, go
Old
pensioner
man Peter
Spider-Man.
Parker.
Yeah.
Talking of black, right?
No one mentioned that word.
Talking of black, I don't know. I think we've mentioned this before on the show, but there's a new Superman film being made, and I'm sure we had a pretty good discussion about it last time. But they have announced that Warner Brothers is looking to do the black version of Superman. So not just like present Superman like they have in the comic books, but an actual black Kal-El.
Yeah, cool. I mean, it's from another planet called Krypton. Like, who gives a shit? Honestly, get over yourselves.
Well, funny you should mention he gives a shit. Funny you should mention he gives a shit, because if you see what YouTube, as per usual, is just a rage-filled cesspit, and I'm like, really? Why are you angry about that? Well, he's meant to be white. He's also meant to be a flaming-eyed, super strong, faster than the speeding bullet alien. What difference does it make to anybody?
Yeah.
But a lot of YouTubers aren't happy. But I'm like, get over yourselves. The best thing that could happen to Superman is to turn him black, especially after the last couple of films.
Can you imagine? Like,
Why can't he be Asian?
Well, that'll come. Give it another 10 years.
Little
Yeah.
small Asian Superman,
But like,
and they call it Superman.
There already is one.
yeah, there was a Chinese one, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a
Yeah, in the
Chinese
comics,
Superman
yeah.
in the comics.
But I think, can you imagine how good the origin story of Clark Kent in Smallville with two to keep them both white still, but have him be this adopted kid in an all-white small town,
hillbilly town
And-
that used to be a sundown
yeah.
town.
You know what I mean? And then like literally go through all this racism, all this bullying, and know that he could beat up every single person in the school, but his mum and dad make him be the bigger person. There you go. You've got a cool new origin story that we've not seen a million times.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm excited. I think it'd be great.
Well, I hope they do it. I'm very much like, yeah, well, let's give it anything a shot, because what DC's done so far, I don't know how you boys feel.
It was harsh though.
Great.
They fired Cavill on his birthday. They announced about this new Superman. Like,
No, it's not true. He's not fired. This is not. They're not doing. They're not
He's
doing a
been
new
put on the
universe.
back burner.
Don't blame the black guys. No. Look, Cavill. Look. Henry Cavill is a good actor and a lovely human being, right? Superman was not the role for him.
Yeah, it was.
It wasn't, because and maybe it's because Christopher Reeve. Like, Christopher Reeve didn't look like he should, before Superman, he didn't look like he should be Superman. He didn't sound like he should be Superman, but he fitted that role perfectly, right? Henry Cavill just did not. And not only because he's a bad actor or whatever, but if you look at him in the Superman films, he just doesn't work. It's not, they make him into emo Superman. And that's not Henry Cavill. You know what I mean? Moody cared to save the world, but I'm unhappy about it. You know what I mean? It's just, did you guys like him as Superman in Snyder?
Well,
Snyder!
The scripts are just terrible
Snyder!
for those Superman films. They were bad films.
Do you know the problem? I don't believe he's Clark Kent. That's
There you go.
that's
Yeah,
half of
Clark
it.
Kent, it was a no-no.
Yeah,
But as Superman,
because he doesn't change. All he doesn't change. The whole thing about with Christopher Reeve the Superman is his whole mannerisms would change. He'd make himself smaller. It was just he was the disguise. But with Henry Cavill, it was just like there was just no nuance in it, and I think that's the big thing is that he didn't carry that away. Like, yeah, you're right. The scripts weren't great. I think he was good at being Kal-El. Don't get me wrong. I liked him as Kal-El, but for me, he was never Clark Kent, and that's the biggest thing about Superman. Boom.
What about you, Dave? Did you feel it? Did you like him? Are you gonna watch the Snyder Cut again?
No, I'm never going to watch Snyder Cut as long as I fucking live.
If he watches it again, he'd be retiring.
It was actually on the other day, and I did watch the last 12 minutes. I don't know why. It was just I was transfixed of like, why am I watching this rubbish yet again?
Is it strange that I haven't felt the urge to watch it again since I watched it? Not even slightly. Like, ooh, maybe I'll watch this bit.
No,
It
was bad. It was bad.
I enjoyed it because it was better than
anything out there at that time.
No, it was better than the original one, the Whedon one.
Yeah.
And I watched it because I like these characters. Like, honestly, I'd watch anything because I like Wonder Woman, I like Cyborg. Like, I like that the fact that Aquaman is now being used in a cool way. You know, they're making him a bit tribal. They're making him a bit, warrior. Like,
He's no longer on his little dolphin floating around.
Yeah,
or seahorse, shall I say?
Yeah. Like, I think that that Aquaman aspect, even Flash is cool. I like Flash being a bit nervous and a bit nerdy. I don't want him to be too confident. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed that, but I just want them to do a good one. Please.
You
That's
mean
it. That's what
everybody?
everyone wants. It's just a decent one.
I think it will happen at some point. I just think, like, the way things are going at the moment, I think Warner Brothers, I think Batman is gonna put the whole DC thing back on track. Because it looks fantastic, and it looks like it could be a really interesting project.
But that's not going to be like a multiverse. That's a standalone story.
No, but I don't think the multiverse, in a way, DC needs to do it the same way Marvel did, and I think that may be the big mistake.
They do it a bit
Marvel,
differently.
Yeah, just like have each character, maybe have them come together across different universes at some point.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Batman, Superman, and all these characters already. So have some fun. Do a Green Lantern movie where he's in his own separate universe.
But they're all big characters. That's the trouble with that one.
Yeah, well, they're almost.
So you put them all
I think-
together is just going to be complete fuck up, isn't it? It's like just make these standalone movies. They're big enough to do standalone movies.
Yeah.
There's enough stories out there instead of doing the same ones over again.
Same with like Green Lantern. You know,
Yeah.
you can have that really cool stories going on there.
And you know, get a lighter palette. I know, like the Green Lantern, even Green Lantern, they did the really dark palette on that film,
Yeah.
and it's about a guy with a fucking bright lantern. How whose idea was that? And I think just if they do that with the DC films, they'll get somewhere with them. I ain't mad at them or nothing, but I think DC need to
Pull their
what
finger out their
Warner
arse.
Brothers. Yeah, they need to do what Warner Brothers is good at, and that's letting really good directors tell really good stories. And if they can do multiverse, great. But it's you know, let CW do that shit. Everybody's happy with the CW. Let them carry on doing their shit, and that's it. And then down the road, maybe do a cross universe thing. But it hasn't worked so far, and there's no signs that it could work. Do you know what I mean? I'm fed up with the Batman to butt off all their jokes. Okay, he's got no powers. He can still kill you all. Let's just stop with that business. But we'll see. Like I said, I'm more than happy to give Warner Brothers a chance anytime they step up. But at the moment, I'm just like, I'm over it. I've had enough of it. So,
Again.
huh?
So they're bringing Loki forward. Have you not? Did you read that?
Yeah, they said.
When is it?
June the 7th or June the 9th?
Sick.
So it's Wednesdays.
June the 9th, because the day after my birthday.
Yeah, so Wednesdays is a new Friday, I think was the tagline for that. So that'll be cool. You know, and I think Marvel's just released the Lady Loki comic books in time for the series. So they're going to be published next month. And they're all the stories of when Loki was a woman, which hint, he may become a woman in the TV show as well for a short while. Which will get all the nerds excited like they have over Lady Dimitri.
So he's going to identify himself as so many different sexualities.
Yeah.
Which one?
What's that?
Huh?
What was that? What did you say?
Loki's going to identify himself as a woman.
I know, but then you said something afterwards. I didn't hear.
And others.
Okay.
Sexualities.
Oh, right. I thought it was something more interesting. Sorry.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Woo. Well, on that bombshell.
Oh.
No. Right. So we've done that. We've got that done. Now, in terms of they're releasing all the comic books of Loki when he was a lady. Dave Bautista says he's going to retire as Drax, which after Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which if I know Marvel, they'll give him more money to do it again and get him back. But
I think he's doing that so he can play Bane, because there was things about him talking about Bane quite a lot, and I think he wants to hang up his Marvel cape and then pick up the DC one. You know.
Yeah, I don't reckon it'll be bad. Dave Bautista has surprised me so much ever since Guardians. Before the Guardians, I never took him seriously as an actor at all. But ever since the Guardians, he seems to have just changed. Because the last film I remember him being in before Guardians was a film where he was in it for 5 minutes and he shoots himself in the face with a gun. And that was my experience with Dave Bautista. But now he's like with Guardians, he's made Drax into like one of the most.
Yeah.
Nobody knew who Drax was.
Yeah, now people love him, don't they?
So I think that's quite the move for him. And yeah, Bane, I can see him as Bane. Definitely see him as Bane with neck muscles like that.
Yeah,
I can see him. He's got a lot of neck muscle.
I'd like to see him be like the proper from like, you know, sort of Puerto Rico, you know, come in and from like South America, come in and be like a tactician and wait for Batman and then strike at the right moment, you know, rather than some angry boy in a furry jacket.
No, you have my permission to die.
As I say, so you're sacking Tom Hardy already. You guys are bad.
What a beautiful singing voice.
The power to destroy the city is in your hands now. These people are liars. They have deceived you.
Look, I enjoyed it. It's just that I'd like to see a more like a bit more comic accurate, you know, like Mexican wrestler, you know, but like a awesome fighter, you know, like take his time. Like in that, he just like, oh, Batman, I'm gonna break you, bye. Like in the comics, it's like a whole. He like stalks Batman for like a year, and he learns everything about him, and then he destroys everything about him and him, and like the whole city watches. It's like this beautiful choreographed, you know, tactician. You know, not an angry boy just with Ra's al Ghul. You know, it's just I want to see that. I want to see that, and I want to see him get, you know, and then you could have a really cool thing where you have, you know, someone else come up and be Batman. You know, just my pitch.
That'd be nice. I think a black Batman that would.
Oh, here we go.
And paint it black. It does it every single time. It annoys YouTube. That's all I ask for.
There's no reason any of the Robins can't be black. Honestly, there's no reason whatsoever. You know what I mean? Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Tim.
Why can't we have a South American?
Yeah, anything like it doesn't.
A little Latino Batman.
Well, at the moment with the future slate, I've got a black Batman in there.
Yeah, but the problem is the future state, and this is my little rant. Yeah. It just
I'm ready. Go.
I really wanted to enjoy it. Yeah. But him becoming Batman is just, it feels so forced. And it doesn't like, so in the comics, basically after Joker War, they're like anti-vigilantes, and Lucius Fox is like to Bruce Wayne, this is all your fault. I'm cutting you off from Wayne Industries. So he's cut off from the fortune. Like he's still like a multi-millionaire, but he's not, you know, I can build like a tactical stealth plane sort of millionaire. So he gets his son to don the costume, and then, you know, he does it, you know, to save Gotham and stuff. And it just doesn't feel right. I'd much rather it be, you know, like a legacy character that, you know, is black as well. It just feels like they've shoehorned this in, and it doesn't feel authentic.
Well, I haven't read any of them yet, but I will try and put one in.
So he's Lucius Fox's son. That's the whole point. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, I wonder what would happen if they actually cast a black Bruce Wayne at some point in the future. Send them nuts. Oh, I could just see YouTube now. Lynch them. I'm intrigued. I'll go and read a bit of that. At the moment, I haven't been reading too many comics. I'm still catching up on a lot of the stuff I've got, but I will get to Future Slate at some point.
Yeah, it's all right. There's only a few issues. It's a bit too neon-y, if that makes sense. Too many bright colours for me. The Batman story at the moment is cool because he's a villain again. Not a villain, but he's an outlaw again, which is nice. I like it when he's too pally with the police, it doesn't feel right. I think he should be a little bit. He should be out of the law a little bit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I think, you know, when Gordon's too pally, it's like, oh, come on, mate.
And I think, look, what I'd like to see is I'm still reading the Three Jokers.
Oh yeah,
which is quite good.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Have you finished it?
Not yet. I'm working towards it.
All right, when you finished it, let's talk about the ending. Dave doesn't read comics, so he's like,
Dave's like, you motherfuckers.
I don't have time to read.
You read a comic?
I haven't got time. I've tried. I just haven't got the time.
All right, and what are you guys going to be watching over the week? I know
nothing, because I'm working.
Oh bollocks! Sorry, I've watched. What have I watched? What's that? I watched Jupiter's Legacy. I watched. I'm going to watch Tenant, I think, or at least the last 10 minutes. From what I've been told, I can watch the last.
Yeah,
10
you can watch the last 10 minutes. You'll be fine. You'll understand.
I'm saving that for the cinema. I'm gonna wait for the Prince Charles to have it on, and I'll go and watch it on. Yeah, because I think with a film like that, I'm not going to have my expectations really high, and B, I feel like you need to see that in the cinema.
Mm.
You know what I mean? That is a cinema film, and I can wait. I'm in no rush.
Mm. What about you, Dave? What do you fan of it?
It was okay. It wasn't the best of movies.
Mm.
I wouldn't waste my money in a cinema to watch it. Put it that way.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
It has a great story
Mm.
Yeah.
and how it all works out, but it so repeats itself over and over and over again
Mm.
because of what's going on. And
Spoilers. Sorry.
yeah, how the multiverse works
Okay.
of
All right,
being
well-
forward and being back.
I don't know if I'm going to do, but by next week I may own the new Xbox, but the S version. I don't
Oh,
know
you
what
know
the
how
S
to
version.
waste
Why
money, eh?
are you doing this? Just as
I don't
everything
know.
opens
I
up.
just-
Like
they dropped-
literally, you just come off furlough and you're like, oh, I'll get the brand new games console that I won't have time to play now.
Oh, because I know
Because there's so many games out as well to play.
Yeah.
for the next 6
What are you
6
gonna do? Play
months.
FIFA 21 that's been out for a
I'm
year.
not going to
and
be
bloody
going out.
Solaris and everything else.
I'm not going to be going out. I'm going to do what I always do. I may go out for a drink now and again, but I'll be home before midnight half the time. I'm not going to get laid in this environment. Are you mad?
There's no games out, Curtis. There's not been no games for over a year.
We'll see. I'm just saying the price dropped. I saw it drop. I was like,
How much is it?
And you,
$250.
Oh, that's cheap.
Yeah, that's really, really cheap for. But at the same time, it is the S version of the next gen, so it's not. I'm going to find out exactly what the difference is. But
the memory probably, and the speed,
yeah, if it's things like that, I'm not going to.
and the size.
But this is why I talk to you guys about this stuff, because now you've gone, Curtis, you suck if you buy it. I'm like, maybe I won't buy it now.
Yeah, it's just funny. Like literally, furlough's over. We're allowed to go out, and like, I'm gonna buy a new game console.
I'm gonna stay in now.
Mike, I'm not going to go out. It's like, I'm not going out with these crazy people for at least a couple of months. If I was in my 30s, then yeah, I might be able to. But I'm 40. What am I going to do? Go to the pub and try and chat up 19-year-old girls? No, my name's not
And
Jimmy.
that stopped you when?
And can't you just go out and have a drink with your mates?
No, they're all married with kids. What am I going to do? Like,
Hello, hello.
oh yeah, I'll go out for a drink with you. Dave. I'm kidding. I'm being petty and I'm making excuses, but that's why I've got you boys there to pull me back from the edge every single week, which you do. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how we get through an entire gorgeous, beautiful, shockingly sexy episode of the Boys from Bossk. Almost said it wrong there again, but we've done it. We've gotten through it.
You've done
and
well.
We'll be back every week. Well, hopefully nearly every week. Summer's coming up, so we'll see how that goes. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for joining us for another episode. We'll be back with more news and talk next week. Please share the video, like the channel. Any feedback or information you'd like to give, please do so. Email me, shout at me, I don't mind, whichever works. But let us know how you think, how you feel, and what you want to see on the show. This is the Boys from Bossk. Good night.